We're 3D printing corals now, and it doesn't just affect reef conservation, it has the potential to change pharmaceuticals, biofuels, and even space colonization. Honestly, we don't even need to write a hook for this one. It is as cool as it sounds. And the technology isn't too far off from what you might already have in your room. My name's Rhowan, and I'm a marine bio master's student at UC San Diego, and corals are cool. First off, corals are alive. They're made of thousands of tiny living animals called polyps, which grow and form a calcium skeleton for them and their friends to live on. So think of it as an apartment unit. Now, each polyp has a group of symbiotic roommates, algae. These polyps give them housing, while the algae provides them with the energy they need to survive, through photosynthesis. The algae pays the energy bill in exchange for free housing. It's honestly a pretty sweet setup. No landlords, no rent. These algae are living better than we are. Damn. But there is a catch. The algae roommates are also really picky about the thermostat. That's why when ocean temperatures gets too high, because climate change, these algae bail, and the polyps quite literally starve to death. Wait, come back! Where are you going? What will I eat? It's too damn hot! To make matters worse, the algae are also what give polyps their signature color, which is why dying coral look white. Wait, you're back? Nope. Damn, they moved out and then they took the wallpaper. Brutal. With corals dying off so quickly, the ecosystems that depend on them as a habitat are also at risk. No polyps means no new coral skeletons, which means no new habitats for small sea creatures, and because everything is connected, that also means everything above the food chain is basically screwed. As it stands, we're looking at a risk of ecological collapse. Fortunately, there is a solution that can keep algae and coral reefs alive, and that's 3D printed cyborg corals. Let me explain. Scientists have developed a method of 3D printing coral skeletons to house algae. It's actually similar to the way resin 3D printing or a gel manicure works. They essentially mix algae cells into a chemical concoction that hardens with UV light. This concoction is a gelatin-like material that polymerizes into a solid structure. By using a fine UV laser, they can selectively harden the mixture layer by layer until a full 3D skeleton is achieved, all with the tiny details you need. And it's the details that make the difference. Just like real coral, these 3D printed coral skeletons are made of subunits called corallites. Look closely at any coral and you'll see them. These are cup-shaped pits that bounce light within themselves, kind of like a satellite dish. The more light it traps, the better the algae can photosynthesize, and the healthier the coral will be. Aside from that, real polyps also have tentacles. Because, fun fact, coral is related to jellyfish, and the thing about jellyfish is tentacles. Their job is to increase the total polyp surface area exposed to light. So, researchers added cylinders around the cups to mimic real coral tentacles. All in all, this technology replicates all the features of a living coral tissue. The underlying skeleton, the coral algae symbiosis itself, and everything else the algae needs to survive. But how successful is it really? Well, shine a laser into it and let's see. First, researchers compared how long light stayed trapped within each corallite dish, and compared it to a simple, basic, flat sheet of algae. As they hoped, the 3D printed corallites trapped much more light and for longer, meaning more photosynthesis for the algae. So, yeah, after that, they tested how deep light could penetrate. Shut up. The problem with artificial coral has always been that algae on the surface block light from reaching those below. Remember that the coral skeleton is an apartment. You don't just want light hitting the outer walls, you also want light getting into every bedroom, sink cabinet, and toilet bowl. Fortunately, this design makes it so that everyone gets a turn. Shut up. When used in combination with coral planting strategies, these 3D printed coral could speed up reef reclamation by leaps and bounds. And there's more good news. Scientists have also made a spray-on coating that helps planted coral settle faster. It's called SnapX, and maybe I'll make a short about it. Anyway, these are really promising technologies that can be easily scaled up for coral reefs around the world, no matter the size. But there's more. We can make compact algae farms in cities or in space. Why farm algae, you ask? Well, because algae is everything. We can use them to make biofuels, pharmaceuticals, carbon capture technology, wastewater purification systems, and even nutritional supplements like spirulina. And this is where I'm officially rebranding the channel to Explainer. I'd buy that powder, my organic vitamin powder that's algae-based, space-grown, coral-infused, and it's an MLM. Step 1, like and subscribe. Step 2, send me your money. Step 3, we profit.